Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe where we help and heal one day at a time with daily videos. We're going to talk about this discard and was it a narcissistic relationship? What went wrong? Should we work it out? I have two examples, one where I was discarded and another where I did the discarding. I almost never discard friends. And these are non-romantic relationships. So I'm going to start with the one where I discarded. I had a friend and I was pregnant at this time. I was unmarried, so I was very like religious, and sometimes we're hypocrites. But I was pregnant with an illegitimate child, and I still wanted like uh, my reputation to be upheld as much as possible. I was still in the relationship with her dad, and my friend had cheated on her boyfriend, and she kind of almost got busted. It was like this love note that she wrote or something like that. And she had said that it was me with some other guy. And that really bothered me because I was kind of in a tumultuous relationship. We were on again, off again. I was in love with the guy, wanted to, have our family. And it was really important to me that I didn't look like I was cheating. If that ever got out, that could destroy my relationship and, my reputation as well. My relationship was more important to me, but I had just asked her, to correct it. Just, I don't care if you say it's somebody else, just correct that it's not me. She wouldn't do it. And I kind of put my family above that. That was like a breaking point. We were best friends forever. Always had a great time. There's really no problems in our friendship. There was no arguments. There was give and take. We were kind to each other, but I discarded her because that could ruin my life. And she was not willing to even say it was somebody else. She didn't have to admit it was her. So I ended up discarding her. Kind of sad to end almost a lifelong friendship. The other one where I was discarded, these two were my two best friends. It's so sad, lost both my best friends. Great friendship, and her husband had gone off, I can't remember what war, but he was, uh, I was gonna say deported. He was activated. And so he's over in Egypt doing his own thing, gone for a long time. I had actually gone to college with him. We were both studying criminal justice. So him and I became close, even though it was her husband. We never had anything physical, but we were friends. I hung out at their house a lot. But when he was over there, he ended up dating, falling in love. Of course, her name had to be Cindy as well, ironically. So he started dating the Cindy, was not me. And he had confided in me. And he had asked if I would keep a secret. And me being a dummy, I didn't know what the secret was. So I said yes. So I'm very good in friendships to honor that kind of stuff. But he also cheated on my best friend. And I was kind of torn on what to do. Now, in the past, I had told my best friend that he was spending all this money using credit cards to pay off credit cards, just getting way into debt. And they're supposed to get married. So I ended up protecting my friend and telling her that. But when he had told me that he was cheating, I had told him, he's got to tell my friend. And he had promised me that he would. Okay. So I'm thinking when he comes home that he's going to tell her. And he didn't. So he broke his promise to me. And I thought it was between them to work out because he was going to tell her. Somehow she found out. And she had also told him they had a very open relationship, kind of did the little wife swaps and stuff like that, and had told him, while you're gone, if you want to fool around, fool around. But when he came home and she found out about it, she got pissed at me for not telling her. They're still married today. And this happened like, I don't even know, 20 years ago, 15, whatever it is. And so she totally instantly, boom, discarded me, wouldn't talk to me. First, kind of yelled at me and then discarded me. And I waited a year, called her on her birthday, and all she said to me was like, no, and hung up on me. So sometimes when we break barriers with people, sometimes that's why people who cheat will get instantly discarded. You could have this whole lifelong relationship. But if that breaks your barriers based on religion or your true thoughts on the level of commitment that should have been, or even just your coping skills on how to handle it. Sometimes those kind of relationships do end. Is sad, but those were not narcissistic relationships. You can tell a difference between a narcissistic relationship if a lot of times the discard comes out of the blue. Like the examples with my friends, there's kind of a logical reason. It wasn't just over time. It was kind of an incident that caused it. So those I don't believe were narcissistic relationships. But if you've been instantly discarded, we're kind of blindsided, where you don't understand it, where you've tried to work things out. If you've researched the different, you know, um, patterns of speech with the gaslighting and the confusion and the false promises, the love bombing, to where things are great and then they instantly drop back down again for seemingly no reasons. It's almost like they try to pick a fight. That's them trying to get an adrenaline rush. So there are differences between friendships or relationships that end abruptly, because often narcissistic relationships end up abruptly as well. But it's the difference between what the reason was, um, what the pattern of the friendship was. Those friendships I had were really good, true friendships. Spent a lot of time. There's, never really any arguments, downtime. We worked through different opinions, things like that. But we always had each other's back. Always asked about each other. A lot of times, narcissists don't try to understand you. If they do, it's to turn it around on you, to kind of shift the blame or to distract against what they did. They're very tricky. They manipulate. They're very hard to understand because sometimes it's so subtle on how they do it. Sometimes it's just like the looks they give us, the tone of voice, to where they kind of talk down to us, or the way that they say things. It's like they are better than us. And sometimes it's just subtle. But in a partnership, you want to be equal to each other, even if one does more chores or one brings home more money, that you balance each other out instead of overpower all the time. Do they try to one up you? You know, are the abuse patterns there? So if you're honestly searching, trying to figure out if it was a narcissistic relationship, a lot of times it is. The hardest part is sometimes we feel guilt over, after they devalue us, they change our speech patterns because we're walking on eggshells and we think that we should have done something different, that it was our fault. But they don't give us that comfort to talk to them in the right way. So we talk like we're lesser than them just because they won't let us talk effectively in a regular speech pattern. You can't just ask them point blank something often, especially if it deals with emotions. And if they do, they'll often get angered, which confuses us. So we kind of try to soften it as opposed to just keeping having a conversation. We're always trying to keep things even keel, kind, communicative, and often it's shot down. It's frustrating. I know I'm going through something. I told you if you watch my channel, I'm kind of still talking. He's getting married, so we're not pursuing anything, but I just asked a simple question, the same question I've been asking for 2 years. I still don't get a straight answer. So at least he's kind now, but I don't spend that much time with him. But it's still ineffective. So it's not really even a true friendship. I can't ask just a simple question, even, hey, when can you call? I'll call soon. This week, they just don't answer. And I'm at the point where it's like, whatever. That's how you have to handle a narcissistic relationship. You can't really expect like a grown-up conversation. Like if I asked you, hey, can you call me today? You'd probably say yes or no. It doesn't matter if you can't. But either that or they'll come up with these stories and it's like, I just wanted to hear, you can say no, that they'll give you excuses or promise, then they don't come through with it. And it can be mind-boggling on the way they twist and turn things. And then we expect things and, like the call, then it doesn't come through. And then you reach out, hey, how about tomorrow? And then they either don't communicate the right way, or, oh, I'll see what I can do. And then, you wait thinking that they're going to call. And that's how the trauma bond starts, is intermittent reinforcement. A lot of times they don't answer your texts. And it's kind of interesting how relationship experts will tell you, that law of scarcity. Um, and we're kind of there. We're kind of not too scarce. We're kind of in their face trying to figure things out. But that's how the trauma bond forms. And I'm going to do a little more research on love, because it's kind of sad all these relationship experts are almost encouraging trauma bonding instead of just true love. And they also say that, for somebody to love you, they have to fear losing you. Um, you know, uh, how did we feel? We always felt like we were going to lose a person. So we fell deeper in love with them. And I believe there are true love feelings, to where when you were in the beginning, you were being love bombed. Everything was safe and secure. At that point, we fell in love. Did we have to fear losing them? No, we cherished them. And the destruction that they cause, the physical and emotional pain, the abuse that we go through, it isn't always something that we can comprehend, because it's like a daily pattern. And during the devaluation stage, we get blindsided by it, because we take these little baby steps to make things better. And then all of a sudden, we didn't realize that every time we did that, they saw us as less than we were, instead of this wonderful person. We either, were nags or irritating to them. And that's where the crazy making comes in. You try to do everything right, and they'll look at the tiniest little thing and twist it around on you, making you feel worthless. So you could do something so phenomenal, but you forgot one little thing, and fights can start, silent treatment can start. So I believe there are times that certain friendships do end. It's really sad with my two friends. I still love them, and even the one that I discarded, I still have a great love, and I really miss that person a lot. And I just felt I had to uphold my boundaries. My boundaries are like, don't trash me unless I do something wrong. Don't make me out to be a whore. So just some things to think about. Sometimes knowing can kind of help us, because I was sad about my friends, but it also made sense. So if it doesn't make sense, it was most likely with a narcissist. So big hugs. Hope these videos help. Feel free to ask me any questions, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.